I swear to you, the last 2 weeks I feel has had more twists and turns than a Hollywood movie. But for now, things have settled down and we have just been chugging away, getting Liga ready for what we hope will be her launch date at the end of November. I mentioned that the past 2 weeks have been like a Hollywood movie, and that is no exaggeration. The roller coaster of emotions has been absolutely insane. And while I'm not ready to talk about all of it yet, there are some key things that I can share. There is currently a staff member from Robertson and Caine here in Trinidad, Cyril. He actually came to our boat last year and had a look, but this time he didn't actually come to Trinidad for us. He came to look at the other Leopard 45 that is also under warranty that we've been helping with. But due to the proximity, he has ended up getting involved with our boat, which is something we really appreciate because he is an individual who is very straightforward, very practical, and the value of that cannot be understated when you are in a situation like we found ourselves in. Over the weekend, as in the day after this is being published, there are some Robertson and Caine employees who are apparently flying in to begin working on that boat, and there is talks that they might then come across to work on our boat, and we welcome any competent labour to come and help us. Leopard Catamarans has continued to reaffirm their commitment to rectifying the issues on Liga, but their latest estimated arrival time for their team is mid-October, which is 6 weeks before the end of the hurricane season, giving 6 weeks to do all of the repairs, get the new mast set up, the mast on, and the boat ready to launch. So we are continuing with our self-rectification because that date is as well contingent on no other delays or issues coming up for them. We've already been waiting 5 months and we are not going to risk losing another sailing season, which would be the 3rd in a row. It means that many of our own projects that we wanted to work on won't get done, and there is no opportunity for any of us to fly out and go and see loved ones that we haven't seen in a very long time. Instead, we just need to be here, grind through it and get it done, keeping our eye on our dream instead of letting the stress get us down. So that is 2 quite big warranty updates, and I'm sure that that situation will continue to evolve over the next week and coming weeks. For now, here's what we've been doing.
Look at that, look at that.
Ooh, that's pretty.
That looks nice.
Since our last episode, Nino, or should I say Captain Nino, has continued painting our custom bow art in between working on other tasks like the chain plate faces, deck to hull join lines, hull defects and helm platform on Liga, and getting his own boat ready to relaunch when we do. Watching him complete this project, it's become painfully obvious that very few people we've met have the patience and attention to detail to do a task like this. It's going to be quite a moment when Nino is able to sit in an anchorage and look at the final product from the comfort of his own sailing home. Happy?
Bling bling.
Bling bling.
Nice. There's a couple of little bleed throughs, but once I've sanded it block flat the way I need to, I should be able to sort that out. So I mean, it's just a bit of detail now, just block flatting it.
That's looking cool though.
Yeah.
Trent and Tynan are about to go and work on the mast, but Nino has just given some very exciting news, and that is that he is about to take off all the tape on the port side. So I actually get to see the artwork without the stencil. So this is like the first reveal, which is exciting.
Right, be a little bit careful.
I've already had to tie my hair up.
Oh no, yes.
It's like
Sweaty.
an absolute sweat box in here, which I suppose I should have expected because it's plastic and it's the tropics and everywhere is hot here. But this is extra hot.
Very hot. Sorry, just chuck my rubbish on the floor.
It's alright, you're an artist, you're allowed to be messy.
Yes. Love it. Where's my knife? just cut off the excess here. So
Oh, so it doesn't pull off?
yeah, it's just excess anyway. It'll come off when you sand it. But I just think it'll help around. It's a bit heavy, that's all. Over the top of the fine line tape. What have I done there? Oh, sticker, that's right. Get this up and then start putting the outside, you'll start seeing the life of it. This is the tricky bit. This is the messy bit. There's a bit of bleed through, like the little bits come through there. It looks a bit messy, but once you sand it, it all disappears. So fine.
So what we're doing here is I'm recovering some of the cable out of the mast. The lightning cable, even though it's cut in a couple of places, it can still be used by other people with a lower budget and give it away to be used for some random stuff. We also need to recover some of the cables that haven't been sent, like the radio cable, and hopefully it's okay. How many hours did we work in a row? 30 something?
Yeah.
This must
in
function.
Italy it was like 30 something hours.
And I had dozens of people contact me and comment and say, look at this ignoramus drilling holes in the mast and using cable ties. There's no way the cable ties will last and hold the cables in and not break. Well, I've just cut this one.
Yep.
If you cast your eyes here, if you use load rated UV rated cable ties, would you believe it works?
Across the sea and an ocean.
Yeah. Right, so in case this mast can be recycled, all the things are in my head that I need to do. So I'm going to restore my string system that I made up to basically sit with a bunch of strings through all these holes, and then that will have a draw line through it. So if someone else can use this mast, which I think they could, the reality with this mast is even if you speculate and say there were too many holes drilled down there near the sleeve and it could create a weak point, or all the T-section, like the T-section's compromised down there from all the foot rungs they put in, and the T-section's stuffed, which it is, and you can't slide anything on it to function anymore. Even with all the damage that's been done, someone could still just get a TIG welder and fill all the holes, and to me that'd be the same as before. And they could still just run a sleeve, or somehow attach aluminium conduit, aluminum. What's got me concerned is the new mast they've sent's got the plastic conduit in it. And I mean, despite the fact that the installer they're supposed to be sending is excellent, I don't have a lot of confidence in the PVC. I'd rather put aluminium in there. Because I know that will last. I know that will stay in there. I know that will last the life of the mast. It's not speculation. So yeah,
We'll see.
It's something I still need to think about whether I want to get it sent up here. No, how do you tie a figure eight knot? I don't actually
figure eight and go back.
I actually don't remember how you tie many knots. I don't remember how many tie many knots in general.
Is that going to fit through the hole?
Why not? So
The other hole's a small.
take it again.
Hey.
Once that's tied, that will form something that the draw line can be pulled through.
Yeah.
How long do you reckon?
You don't want it too tight because you don't want.
You want to like at least that much. Right?
You want, when you're pulling your cable, you want to be able to go like that. So if the cable's catching on it, you can shuffle the loop in and out to get it around.
So like why I give attitude is because it's like people can conduct themselves and be like, oh, it'll be interesting to see if that works because nobody's done it before. Mosquitoes. Not, oh, you're a fucking idiot. That's never going to work. They're all going to break and you're going to be screwed.
Never had to be
a situation we should never have had to fucking be in that we've solved because nobody else would fucking help us solve it.
Well, we just had crickets.
Yeah.
So, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
And it worked.
What the guys have done is they've set up this broom behind me that has string on it that's going up to here, down here, and onto the end of the cable in the mast, so that when one of them pulls from that end, this will feed through from this end, and it will just keep rolling off the roll basically. So this here is the original lightning protection cable. If you've watched our mast video from Italy, you would know that the lightning protection cable was damaged. We had to kind of make it work, but we have a new one. And Trent's thought behind this is that we shouldn't waste something. Obviously we can't reuse it for our boat, but there are people around the yard, including Nino, who could definitely use this for their boat, for their wiring. Like that guy. Look at him go.
No. That's what you're here for.
Need them muscles, Nino.
You might have to twist it, so just, we'll go slowly. I'm gonna pass it to him and get him to roll it up. Yeah. Hey Nino. Oh, that's a 50mm crimp straight through. Hydraulic crimp we repaired.
Is that your join?
Yeah. Survived ocean crossing. Oh.
So when...
Oh, another... Where is that? That's the second, boy. That's the second cut through.
Oh. A bit of tape on it.
Other than the two places it was chopped all the way through, it's perfect. All our joints are perfect. No water ingress.
Because of how our lightning protection cable was damaged, Leopard replaced it, which, you know, is fair given that it is joined in two places because the damage to it was so severe. But, you know, we could throw it in the bin, we could sell it, or we could just give it to Nino and give it a second life, give it a new purpose, and recycle it. One of the things that is being replaced here in Trinidad is our back table. Robertson and Caine and Leopard sent one out last year, but we never put it on. But now, with the point in time that we're at, with the thing that we're thinking more people will be out here soon, we've decided to just take it off, get it out of the way, and it's going to make it much easier to work in this area.
So you've done nuts,
Yep.
but all the bolts are too long. So they just keep tightening and tightening and tightening, and
Yeah.
it strips all of the threads.
Yep.
Because obviously this is bottoming out on
Yeah.
the thread. So all the threads are stripped, but these are like fiberglass into the table. So the
Table doesn't stay on properly. Today there's actually quite a bit of activity going on around the boat. We have the welder who is up from South Trinidad, where he's from, and he's going to finish off the last of our stainless steel welding. We have a delivery coming, which we have imported some materials from Florida ourselves to finish off the boat, and then Nino will be over shortly to keep working on the bows, which he's been doing alongside Tynan. Lots of activity, all getting us one step forward, one step closer to being able to launch. Obviously, like most people, we don't wear shoes on our boat, so we keep them down the bottom here. As you might have just noticed, there's only one pink slipper there. I have two pink slippers. I also think I know exactly who the guilty party is. Why have you got my slipper? Why have you got my slipper? That's mine. Honestly, She's such a cheeky girl. Now I'm gonna have to go under and get that. Oh, you've come out now. You've come out, you criminal. Go get my shoe. Get my shoe. Get my shoe. No, no, you just want to bite my finger.
Rose, honey, that black dog's underwear.
Yep.
Come out. Rose, sweetie, see this? See that? Browse. Yes. Bring it here. Good girl. Yeah, look. Good girl.
Yay!
Today, the welders' jobs were to fix what seems to be a manufacturing defect on the new pulpit seat that was preventing it from being installed, and returning our upgraded davit, which has had some more additional reinforcements done that we'd been planning to do for a while.
The welders just left just in time for a Nino to start, and also our shipment is arriving any minute now.
Inside here, there's sharp edges.
Oh yeah.
I'm just going to round it all off. When it articulates, it doesn't just cut through the other tongue.
Yeah.
So this used to be on here with a similar structure. But if you see the weight was pushing it, the weight was,
Yeah.
all that weight on the pole was slowly bending it in.
So this will solve that problem.
So this is a single, from here to here, there's a single machine block of stainless welded into this. He's done an excellent job of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can't... He joined that to that.
Yeah, he made this.
Where?
Is made. So this entire thing's made from a block now.
Yeah.
And then the pipe starts here where you can see the distortion.
He's done a really good job there. That's very difficult to tell.
Excellent.
Wow.
He wants you to advertise him on YouTube, but then he said he's got too much work.
So, what do you think?
Good. We'll put some washers in it.
It's really nice to have that job done. It's one that we've been wanting to get done for a long time. So, yeah, another thing ticked off the list. Now what we need to do is just put the workshop space under the boat back to the way it was before we had to move everything so that the welder could bring his van in.